growth in the ceilings, and there are some pictures that show what is known as a petri dish, those round dishes that actually show the different colonies of the mold. And you can see that these are visual depictions of high levels of fungus in the areas that were swabbed. And the averages are way out of what would have been expected. Patients cannot be seen and treated in these areas. There are a lot of issues that come with mold inhalation, and the staff are at serious risk. And anyone who has worked at Cornwall Regional can tell you that working in a mold-infested environment does cause respiratory problems. You just feel sick all the time, and it may aggravate some chronic diseases. So we're putting patients and staff at risk while this cover-up is going on. Remember that.
Welcome back, family. People, it's a Mayday situation. Mayday, 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 SOS, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Do the water running a pipe. Mold in our hospital. The PNP exposed Mr. Tufton and Andrew Onis bullshit and cover up. People, are they what we did? We want to see. Are they the people want me understand? We want $80 billion. People wait till they hear this. The PNP had a press conference today where Dr. Dawes exposed what Mr. Tufton and Andrew Onis is doing to the people of Jamaica. People have dude in the water, people. The NWC said the water bad, but Tufton has said water good. How can we trust these people? The people have got prison. I think a lot of people dead under them. It is as if they want us to die. Somebody make money off of dead at Jamaica. People do in the water, people. Jano. No, man, me not wait no longer. We're going to play it. We're going to play the press conference, people. But no, listen here, we don't waste no time. Healthcare crisis. Healthcare crisis. Mr. Tufton, PR stunt and job sitting there, they have. Bullshit! You know what Jamaica did at Jamaica behind them now, healthcare? The PNP exposed them backside. Thank God for the opposition. Dr. Dawes do it. Honestly, I'm going to tell you that before on this platform. Dr. Dawes do a wonderful job as opposition and health. They man out there every minute, every chance he can get. Allow me to tell people. Allow me to tell talk truth. That man and Dr. Dawes, him no lazy. Him no lazy, people. I want to share this video to your family member, Jamaica, or probably somebody who now watch the show right now. Because this is a life and death situation. It is a major healthcare crisis going on when it comes to our water and our hospitals. You got to hear from the professionals, them people. This administration, they lie. They spend millions of dollars on PR stunt instead of using the money to improve the system. That's why I know say, them no love we. No, they couldn't love we. No, they couldn't love we in Aguanso. No. It seems as if somebody wants to be dead. No, honestly. No instrument in the hospital to save life. Them send it outside. And now this, me now waiting a long time. Come on to hear what me I hear because it pissed me off. Let's go. PNP press conference. Yeah, they get exposed. Tufton and Andrew Onis. Bridging them, you know? Stay there. It's coming up, people. Press conference coming up. Now, tell me if you can hear nice and clean. Tell me if you can hear clear.
Good morning to our viewers on Facebook and those viewing us live on TikTok. I'm Nikisha Burchell, the Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party and Information and Public Communications spokesperson for the opposition. Thank you so much to the members of the media who are here with us this morning for not just another press conference, but for an SOS alert for a national attention to be pointed at our health sector. Our public health system is in crisis.
Right here.
And the lives of ordinary Jamaicans are being placed at risk because of
Guys, can you hear? Guys, can you hear loud and clear? I want you guys to hear everything. How dangerous this is. Good God. Pray to God, family member, no sick out there. Pray to God, no do you. Good God Almighty. Them boy are wicked. But before we go this up, let me play something for you real quick to remind you what we're working with.
This government has moved the health budget from $60 billion in 2016 to $140 billion in 2023.
Where is that extra $80 billion that was added to the healthcare? People, this is crazy. People forgot jail, you know. People forgot jail, you know. A corruption a hold you back. No wonder people talk about what England do for we, or what America do for we. A corruption a hold you back. Listen to man again before me go further, because we're not going to hear some stuff, but we want to understand. Him did say this.
This government has moved the health budget from $60 billion in 2016 to $140 billion in 2023. You would ask the Jamaican people, what have we gotten so far for this increase in budget?
Nothing. Mold infested goddamn place. Nothing we don't get for this. Disgrace. Deaths.
Growth in the ceilings, and there are some pictures that show what is known as a petri dish, those round dishes that actually show the different colonies of the mold. And you can see that these are visual depictions of high levels of fungus in the areas that were swabbed. And the averages are way out of what would have been expected. Patients cannot be seen and treated in these areas. There are a lot of issues that come with mold inhalation, and the staff are at serious risk. And anyone who has worked at Cornwall Regional can tell you that working in a mold-infested environment does cause respiratory problems. You just feel sick all the time, and it may aggravate some chronic diseases. So we're putting patients and staff at risk while this cover-up is going on. Remember that this
Cover up, people. Cover up. Wicked. Jesus. They don't love we. They want we dead. Some funeral homes are with Jamaican bodies out there. We're going to them holes.
Good morning to our viewers on Facebook and those viewing us live on TikTok. I'm Nikisha Burchell, the Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party and Information and Public Communications spokesperson for the opposition. Thank you so much to the members of the media who are here with us this morning for not just another press conference, but for an SOS alert for a national attention to be pointed at our health sector. Our public health system is in crisis.
Jesus.
And the lives of ordinary Jamaicans are being placed at risk because of neglect, delay, and misplaced priorities. Our spokesperson for health and public wellness, Dr. Dawes, will speak to you about what's happening at the Kingston Public Hospital, a hospital that is itself sick. Jesse James Clark, our junior spokesperson on health, will speak to you about troubling issues related to water quality affecting communities across Kingston and St. Andrew. Remember, when Jesse sounded the alarm and the government said it was not true? We have the evidence today. In the face of public health crisis and collapse, is the ministry's real priority to safeguard the lives of the Jamaican citizens?
Nah.
Where is the Minister of Health in all of this? Is he at sea searching for replacements for the Cuban doctors whose terms have expired?
Hey.
The People's National Party is raising these questions not to score points, but to demand.
Hold on, people. Excuse me, people. Excuse me, people. I have to load something which is very important to what we're doing right here. I can't miss nothing. I have to load something, a picture. Because they have to do with the water. All right? We have to upload that. So, we have to jump out of that real quick, my loving people. Crisis! Jesus! Jaja! No wonder some of people dead out there to fart. Them not care. No wonder them are invested in a federal home. Make we go and listen.
After all, we are the land
Hold on,
of
we back it up a little bit.
and doctors whose terms have expired.
Cuban doctor.
The People's National Party is raising these questions not to score points, but to demand answers for the sake of every Jamaican who deserves proper health care and clean, safe water. After all, we are the land of wood and water. Over to you, Jesse James Clark.
Are there times when you would love to have another?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jesse James Clark, and I'm a junior shadow spokesperson for Health and Wellness. I'm also the chair for the Public Health and Sanitation Committee for Kingston and St. Andrew. No concerns were raised to us in our committee meetings about the quality of water in sections of Kingston and St. Andrew. And that is what prompted us to do a tour of several water treatment facilities in both in the corporate area and in the rural and some of the rural water treatment sites.
Hear that?
We have seen results that are quite alarming, and we brought it to the public because we felt that not much was being done to make the public aware
Thank you.
of the risk that they were being exposed to. After I brought these results to the public, I was accused of bringing false information and telling lies. However, I just want to highlight the results that we have here today that are projected on your screen. And I want to point to you first, look at this graph. What the bar chart, what is it showing? It's showing what the levels of coliforms should be. And just for everyone, coliforms, these are organisms, bacteria, aka germs, that are found in feces and also found in soil. And they are indication of the quality of our water supply. Now, the red line going across the bar charts running from your left to right, this is what the standard should be. So you should not have any of your coliform limits going above this 5% that you see that red line is connected to. However, if you realize for Kingston and St. Andrew, they are right at 5, and the yellow bars indicate distribution. So that means after the water have left the plant in your pipes, that's what it is. And this is suggesting in this case that there's something happening along the line after the water has been treated, because before it's okay. However, when you look at what is happening in our rural water treatment sites, it's very clear, as you can see from the graph, and this is NWC's results, by the way, that you have at source, which is that blue bar, it's almost 5 times the allowable limit. So you have 5 times the amount of germs that should be in the water presently, and these are coliforms, which means that you have very bad water quality after the water was treated, because at source, this is at the plant when they have brought the water through their treatment process and tested it to see if the treatment process had worked. And you see that it's way above the allowable limit. And knowing this, the water was still distributed, and you have in distribution where it's almost 3 times the allowable limit, where it's at 17 in the yellow bar.
Wow.
For the rural communities.
Share the line.
Now, this is not just a one-off situation for the month of February. For the rural areas especially, this has been consistent. And we understand why you'll have this consistent bad result or poor water quality coming out in the rural areas after our visit. The water treatment we're not saying that you'll be able to do all the steps that you do at your major water treatment facilities, like a Constant Spring. But even in rural areas, you still have to take some measures to ensure that the water is safe for consumption. So for example, at your regular water treatment site, the water goes through several processes. For example, it goes through flocculation, which is where they add chemicals to bind with those fine particles that might be in the water, so that they can become heavier and settle out. You have sedimentation, which is where the heavier dirt particles settle and the water is basically clarifying the water to make it clear. And then that sedimentation the clear water is removed. It is filtered and it passes through several different filters, whether it's sand of different size filters to ensure that they remove any residual viruses, organisms that might be left back in the water. And then it moves from there to disinfection, where you have your chlorination taking place. However, in the rural areas, we're not saying that you have to do all these steps. However, filtration is a must. And this is one of the infrastructure upgrades that has to take place at our rural water treatment sites to ensure that the water is safe. Also, we're recommending that they install temporarily, they can use black tanks, or what we Jamaicans call black tanks, or water tanks, and temporarily to have holding areas for the water in the rural areas so that it has enough contact time with the chlorine before it's distributed. You cannot be getting results that shows that you are having poor water quality at source and you're still distributing it to the public. Another major concern for us is how the Ministry of Health came out and said that the environmental division in the Ministry of Health, they came out and said that the water was safe for consumption in Kingston and St. Andrew. But at the same time, the NWC is producing results to show that it is not safe.
What?
So I'm now saying to the Ministry of Health that you need to get your house in order, and we need some accountability as to why you were saying that the water is safe when NWC is saying that the water isn't. NWC has also since then admitted that they're having challenges in the rural areas. And they have also admitted 6 days ago on their Instagram page that they have found samples positive for fecal coliforms.
Lord!
And they said that when they have instances of that happening, they will flush the line and they'll cut off water.
Hold on, people. They want outbreak not ready for hold on. They want outbreak not ready for Chopper Jamaica anytime, yeah. One lady tell me the other day, she called for the program. I think she called for the program, yeah. And tell me say our son drink the water and him sick with him belly a yard. His son missing from school. How many days? How can somebody call this program and tell me that? Remember that, people. That their son sick. We go to school, drink water, the water pipe water, and sick at home with them belly. How much people dead and gone and we believe they sit there and kill them? How much people just drop out so when water poison them out there? Do the water we are drink. Share the life of people. Tell the family. Make somebody be aware of what going on. It's a cover.
Right? And I'm asking the persons in the rural Jamaica if that happened. And we want them to now come and apologize for their misleading information that they have been given to the public and for trickling out the truth bit by bit. I'm also asking the journalists present here with us today for you to do your own fact-finding mission and get the results from the NWC, but not only get the results, I want you to visit these rural water treatment sites and let them show you the process of treatment that the water goes through. And you tell me if it's up to standard. Or the minister with the responsibility for water, and also the Minister of Health needs to come out and ensure that we are getting, the steps are in place to ensure that we get good quality water in Kingston and St. Andrew. Also, we'd also want to make the recommendation to the National Water Commission, similar to how we get the results from Petrojam about the pricing of fuel each week. We'd want them to publish their results. And if they're having issues in any particular area, they need to let the residents know the areas that will be affected by the poor quality water and what has been done to correct those measures and when it is safe again for the residents in these areas to consume the water that is being released. We have no issues with the staff at the National Water Commission because after my visit and tour to as well, I understand you have a very difficult job and that you're given basket to carry water most times. So I'm also advocating for the staff at the NWC to receive the necessary gears, compensation, and resources to ensure that they can get to these remote sites and collect the samples and to also upgrade these sites so that they can do their job properly. They cannot do what they don't have the resources to do. So the minister and the Ministry of Health needs to be the one that is overseeing the NWC and protecting us, the consumers, and to ensure that they stick to the standards that are there for them to be, for the water that is being produced by NWC. So once again, I just want to point out the inconsistencies between the results coming from NWC and the results coming from the Ministry of Health, the environmental unit, and they need to answer to the public and to Jamaica at large for that. And we need the NWC to come out, and anywhere else on the island, don't wait on us, or don't wait on us to come out and to say it. You come out and tell us all the other areas on the island that you're having water quality issues and what is being done to address it. In this case, we understand you have to do some infrastructure upgrade, or the results from your rural water treatment sites, they will not improve, and filtration is a big step. Thank you very much.
Goodness. Bad man. Every day I call and post.
What did you do?
Every day, pay line. Pay line, man. PR start to catch up with the man.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Alfred Dawes, the shadow spokesman on health and wellness, just over a year now for the People's National Party. During that time, I have been highlighting what I saw as an impending crisis or an existing crisis that was getting worse in the healthcare sector. To be honest, myself and my team, we did not know that things were this bad. Whereas we warned of a collapse, we didn't know that the system was actually collapsing in front of our very eyes. The latest storm or hurricane to hit the healthcare sector is the mold crisis at the Kingston Public Hospital. Now, as far back as last year, October, November, there were concerns about mold in the clinics. A study was done, and because of the JLP's response every time we make a claim to attack us and call us liars and purveyors of misinformation, we are making the report publicly available so that Jamaicans can see for themselves that an independent subject matter expert has confirmed that there is a mold crisis at the Kingston Public Hospital. They have moved out the clinics from that area, downscaled the size of the clinics and house them in a separate room.
Wow.
But the problem still exists. The pitch patch work that took place at Cornwall Regional Hospital when that mold crisis first came to light about 9 years ago is the same sort of work that is taking place at KPH today. On top of that, there was a recent expose of the operating theaters not being functional because of the air conditioning units not working well. This was downplayed, but we did see that the 4 operating theaters are shut down now at the Kingston Public Hospital. And what has happened is that in that moist environment, mold is growing in the operating theaters. Again, this is being downplayed as something that can be fixed. But we know the track record looking back at what happened at Cornwall Regional Hospital, and we are very fearful that the same thing is going to happen at KPH again. We as a nation cannot afford for that to happen. We have 2 Type A hospitals serving Jamaicans in the public healthcare system. Cornwall Regional Hospital is basically non-functional. Kingston Public Hospital has been the only Type A hospital in the public sector that has been carrying the brunt of all of the trauma, all of the specialist care across the island while serving the needs of the Kingston metropolitan region. Now, with KPH being downsized, it is a crisis affecting not just Kingstonians, but Jamaicans right across the island. Surgeries have been cut, understandably, because you don't have an operating theater. They're on emergency surgeries and dire emergency surgeries only. Dire emergency means that you're going to die.
People, what do you want? All road lead to the mag. All people, they don't love me. They don't love me, people. I pay a con for the last 9 years. It's 9 years worth of con and PR stunt people. People forgot prisoner. And a little lives lost under these guys, telling us everything nice. When I whisper in a Marco Rubio here about about travel advisory, when them talk about the healthcare and the healthcare worse, or they go on to the travel advisory lift when the hospital are closed down because of mole. When a dumbass, man. Look here, man. When the tone deaf, priority cross, look how stupid ass something. No wicked.
And so you have to rush the patient to theater. If you have an emergency and you're not going to die immediately, then you wait until you become a dire emergency.
God.
Unfortunately, there are people who are, patients who are admitted at KPH now who will never make it to an operating room. They unfortunately are going to die waiting to receive service.
Wow.
They have tried to outsource some of the more urgent cases, cancer cases,
Yeah,
at University Hospital. It has been a logistical nightmare. They're not getting half as many cases as they would have done. They're trying to do some at Bustamante Hospital in another piecemeal approach, but there is no coordinated plan to see how you're going to get surgical services up and running. There are some crucial surgical disciplines that we cannot afford to fall off completely. One such service is neurosurgery. With Cornwall Regional Hospital not having a fully functional neurosurgical service, we're left with just KPH, and now KPH does not have a functioning neurosurgical service.
Hold on there. Rels White say, so what these people of all these Chinese doing? May I ask the same thing? People may say this is willing. This is not something you want to fix. Come on, man. You build this, you build that. Here's a China, when I build apartment complex on yourself. And look what I go on as a people. Same thing I go on at the courthouse, the municipal building, hole in the floor, place full of mold, place a leak. People. And Mr. Tufton come tell we just the other day how much money him had. The PNP was running it with $60 billion annually, the healthcare system. The PNP was running with $60 billion annually. It was running better. And Mr. Tufton tell we say him add an extra $80 billion in 2023. Yeah?
This government has moved the health budget from $60 billion in 2016 to $140 billion in 2023.
See there? Tell me some man must go to prison. Me right it. Go listen here, man.
Which means that if anyone, anywhere in Jamaica, gets a fall or any head injury, they are in serious danger of dying from something that could have easily been fixed with surgery.
People, we say for now you are reggae sunsplash go on. You don't hear the simple stuff where I take out the people in Jamaica. You don't hear the simple way of Jamaica, the little thing that we see of we. You don't hear? You don't hear? Remember not even respirator them now in Jamaica, you know. Respirator, you want some ear. And there's a youth of Jamaica make respirator. We know that from about 2020 in the Big C. Why we have a Jamaica to make respirator and we don't have some manufacturer out there pumping it out? People, them boy I know what them are doing now. All road lead to the mag. Didn't they say Tufton allegedly have shares in our funeral homes or control funeral home? Your Minister of Health, a dead body him a live off of. It is alleged that in my funeral homes there are some shares. Yo.
Do not feel that the University Hospital can shoulder the brunt of all of the trauma, all of the complex cases that are currently being sent for their management. They cannot. One type A hospital in the entire Jamaica cannot serve a population of almost 3 million persons who are getting older, who have chronic diseases and get a lot of strokes, heart attacks, and we do have a high rate of motor vehicle accidents as well as violent trauma. So when you put all of those factors together, taking out Cornwall Regional out of the public healthcare sector, and now taking out KPH as well, we are in a serious crisis mode. We cannot pretend as if it is business as usual. We cannot paint up a building and say that renovations are taking place. We cannot say that this was something that was inherited. We have to take decisive actions now. Again, other services that are affected, the ICU, when we spoke about ICU spaces and ventilators, the pushback was that it was simply not true. But the evidence came out from their own audits that we were lacking ICU spaces. Now, back then, a year ago, the ICU spaces at KPH contributed at least 7 total number to the bed count. Today, we're down to about 4 because the ICUs are non-functional, so they've moved them over to the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. So when you look at the whole picture, we are seeing a non-functional type A hospital, which was the last of the 2 that were supposed to serve the entire island. And with KPH out, we are in serious danger. Please do not get sick. Drive carefully, because you cannot be guaranteed that you will get adequate medical services.
Wow.
Now, there are some pictures that show the molds, growth in the ceilings, and there are some pictures that show what is known as a petri dish, those round dishes that actually show the different colonies of the mold. And you can see that these are visual depictions of high levels of fungus in the areas that were swabbed.
Wow.
And the averages are way out of what would have been expected. Patients cannot be seen and treated in these areas. There are a lot of issues that come with mold inhalation, and the staff are at serious risk. And anyone who has worked at Cornwall Regional can tell you that working in a mold-infested environment does cause respiratory problems. You just feel sick all the time, and it may aggravate some chronic diseases. So we're putting patients and staff at risk while this cover-up is going on. Remember that this was a report that was handed over to the team at the Ministry of Health from as far back as November last year. I say all of this to say simply that the current administration cannot be trusted any longer to manage the affairs of the Jamaicans and their healthcare system.
No, sir.
The response, as Jesse had said, is that you first attack the messenger. You try to cast doubt on whether or not they are speaking the truth. And this is why we are making all of our data public. There are some data, some information that was said to me in strictest confidentiality because of the fear of victimization. But more and more people are speaking out. You attack the messenger, you attack their character, and you get your subordinates and your surrogates to do so. So on social media, you expect to have a barrage of insults, and quite frankly, I've gotten used to it now. But, you know, I have just one thing to say to all of those persons who they're using on social media to attack those very persons who are trying to help you. They don't care about you. When I was in the public health sector at various levels, I would get a call from politicians to look after or look out for a prominent businessman or a party worker. I would never get a call to look out for a social media warrior. If you, unfortunately, are a victim of ill health and you seek services at the health center or the hospital, you will not be getting any favorable treatment because a politician is asking anybody. They don't care about you. So while you're there fighting amongst yourselves, it's allowing them to continue the rape of the system. And why I say they're raping the system, I have to bring up again, a drill was bought at the Bustamante Hospital for Children for $30 million.
Listen.
That drill can be sourced on the open market for $5 million. We have to ask, why is it that a government that is so concerned about taxpayer dollars is paying $30 million for a drill that can be bought for $5 million? These are the questions that we should be asking instead of fighting each other.
Drill in the country.
The other thing that we have to address is the current minister's predilection towards shifting blame. It is never his fault, and it is always the fault of multiple administrations not maintaining aging infrastructure and equipment. But Mr. Minister, there's a difference between fault and responsibility. If somebody leaves a baby on my doorstep, it's not my fault, but it is my responsibility to make sure that that child is taken care of and given over to the appropriate authorities. It may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to fix the healthcare sector because you are the one in charge. So deflecting responsibility from addressing adequately the source of the problem in a meaningful way by saying it is not your fault, we are just no longer going to accept that, and we're going to be calling you out on that, should you try to do so in this occasion. And the other deflection is usually that blame is cast at the feet of the senior managers of the facilities. And I want to speak to all the senior managers out there, because when I'm doing my hospital tours, I'm always taken to the newly renovated sections. The bypass areas are the ones that are overcrowded. When you speak to the groundsmen, the cleaning ladies, they'll tell you the true picture of what is happening at the different health facilities. But we have this tendency to put out the potted plants and move the patients out of the corridors when you hear that a spokesperson or a minister is visiting. You need to stop that now, because what that is allowing those who continue to pillage the system to do is to make it seem as if everything is fine and they're doing a great job while things are falling apart. And then when things are obviously falling apart, they will throw you under the bus. And may I remind you of that was what exactly happened at Bustamante Hospital when it was said that it was the managers and the doctors who were trying to hold up the system.
National in the Cayman Islands. Up first this evening, officials at the Bustamante Hospital are on the defensive this evening amid suggestions by the Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, that they should also take responsibility for some of the issues plaguing the hospital. TVJ's Kirk Wright spoke with Dr. Warren Blake, an orthopedic surgeon and consultant.
It has been a challenging few months at the Bustamante Hospital for Children. Orthopedic surgeon and consultant Dr. Warren Blake knows firsthand what medical staff had to do to keep the operations running. It is why he's concerned about the comments made by the Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton about the malfunctioning AC units in the operating rooms. The minister pointed to poor maintenance of the infrastructure by the hospital's administrators for some of the recurring problems. According to Dr. Blake, that's not the case. He referred us to a plan put in place back in April to fix the AC units in all operating rooms. He said if that plan was allowed to go ahead, problems with the AC units would be non-existent.
And that plan was to have been funded by the Chase Fund. The administration of the hospital was well involved in this, and when they sent to the ministry to get permission was denied.
Who denied that?
The minister needs to also address the reasons why the permission was denied to go ahead with the plans earlier this year to fix the hospital. And it's because of this denial that's part of the major reason why we don't have any operating theatre functioning properly at the Children's Hospital.
As it relates to suggestions that patients can do operations at the university hospitals of the West Indies, Dr. Blake says it's easier said than done.
In fact, one of our patients who were on the list for the mission was in fact sent to the university hospital to try and get her done through the hospital. She returned to us when she got an invoice for $1 million. All right, we were told that the invoice would probably have been waived, but when the mother faced with an invoice like that, she didn't want to go through all the problems to get the invoice waived, so she came back down to Bustamante Hospital.
Dr. Blake says for months now, he has had to be cancelling major surgeries because of problems with the hospital's AC unit. At the press conference, Minister Tufton also said it was difficult to get persons to maintain equipment. Dr. Blake stated the reason why contractors are reluctant to carry out servicing at public hospitals.
None of the suppliers want to maintain their equipment because they don't get paid. And if they do get paid, they get paid very late. So the ministry is looked upon as a very bad creditor.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
People, this is last year, you know. This is last year. Remember, Tufton same had an extra $80 billion in 2023. When the $80 billion gone, you get $80 billion. PNP used to run the healthcare system with $60 billion. The labor right, everything is some more money for them. Then now they run them other extra $80 billion. They move it to 140. And things worse, hospital are closed down. Don't take it from me. A Tufton tell me.
This government has moved the health budget from $60 billion in 2016 to $140 billion in 2023.
2023. And last year, foreign doctor come down after expose the government, couldn't even do surgery. Bustamante Hospital where the doctor had just talk. Government a bad creditor. They don't fix and everything tough and blame on somebody. Everything, people. They want to take responsibility for nothing. Make we continue. Listen to the real doctor. Dr.
So deflecting responsibility from addressing adequately the source of the problem in a meaningful way by saying it is not your fault. We are just no longer going to accept that, and we're going to be calling you out on that, should you try to do so in this occasion.
They say this is a
on that, should you try to do so in this occasion. And the other deflection is usually that blame is cast at the feet of the senior managers of the facilities. And I want to speak to all the senior managers out there, because when I'm doing my hospital tours, I'm always taken to the newly renovated sections. The bypass areas are the ones that are overcrowded. When you speak to the groundsmen, the cleaning ladies, they'll tell you the true picture of what is happening at the different health facilities. But we have this tendency to put out the potted plants and move the patients out of the corridors when you hear that a spokesperson or a minister is visiting. You need to stop that now, because what that is allowing those who continue to pillage the system to do is to make it seem as if everything is fine and they're doing a great job while things are falling apart. And then when things are obviously falling apart, they will throw you under the bus. And may I remind you of that was what exactly happened at Bustamante Hospital when it was said that it was the managers and the doctors who were trying to hold up this.
Wow. Hold on, people.
Take sleep mark death. And please desist from trying to aid in any cover-up and trying to make things look rosy, because it is very well-thinking Jamaican who is not blinded by political lenses that things are falling apart and they're only getting.
Jesus. May I get that call or come and mess up the thing?
The person has asked, where is the minister at this time?
Yeah.
Not sure where he is currently, but we do know that Jamaicans will be presented with a $3.3 million plane ticket bill for the trips. The April Fool joke is that he'll...
Yo, sir. Me dey on live now. You want to say something quick?
It's live.
Yes, man.
It's a question. Where is the health minister? Because I heard that him there's some place over in a hemisphere, I don't know where. $3.8 million. So them use taxpayers' money. Then I tell the country when they leave, and then I tell the country when they come back. And they own a business, I hope, and they own a business in Gampan.
Probably gonna buy more equipment to come sell, but they have, like the drill, where you never talk about drill, where we can get for $5 million. The man them sell for $30 million, bro. And leave. Eh? Think about what the man do to me. Think about what them boy do to me. A drill for $5 million or $30 million. Come on, You don't love the people then. You don't love
Them
them.
boy have to go to prison. Them boy have to go to prison. Them a boy have to go to prison.
We make an example out of them that set you, man. Come on, man. My father was dead in the hospital. Could be alive today if them boy was robbing. If the boy wasn't doing what them do, my father would be still alive today.
Oh my God. This is unbelievable. Man! Move! In the hospital, in the operating theater. Look all, Carlos! The man budget is 140 or 60. I mean, $140 billion. $140 billion.
Yeah. The liberal budget, to me, the liberal budget have to put it in their pocket.
Jesus Christ, God Almighty. Them people are like poor people. Them people are like, me say, yo, I pray every day I go on my knees and ask God. That's the way I pick up prison.
Look at, and the poor woman there, compound in the paper, what she have to scramble up money for ambulance. Think about it.
Money.
Beg money for ambulance, not even a free ride. And the boy with a 30% raise. I saw the boy, remember they get the 30% raise, you know? When the clock them do with the money? Yo!
Them a boy. I say I go see that. We have to make an example of them boy. That means that nobody else.
Achoo, man.
Nobody else.
Achoo, man. Me believe that.
You must see it, man. They now walk out in the wilderness like this, man. They want to come.
Yeah, man.
The poor people. Onto the country of Jamaica. Nobody love the country. They want to them pocket. I don't want to certain things on here because in real life. But them boy deserve it. Yo.
You buy something for you buy a drill in the hospital for $5 million and you come back, come sell it. And it seems as if at the man, for what me hear Dr. Dawes said in one of his press conference, because Dr. Dawes is very active. May I tell him I do a good job. Him active. Very active, no stop talk. So I mean hear Dr. Dawes said at previous press conference that them boy hike up the price when they got China go look on the things them. He said them buy the cheapest things for Jamaica Hospital. The cheapest brand them buy. They buy from the community and they come to Jamaica and sell the hospital. So work for money and get a whole in them thing. Politicians them do it, you know. A politician and them body them do it and make money off of it. People, imagine politician in there do them own a country that. Politician in there do them own a country that people. Eh?
I believe. So listen what's going to happen. I believe him run with the Cuban doctor, them saying God might be a India. Just know what's going to happen.
See, as I travel TV, I tell me say I promote his book. I book he gonna promote travel as I travel TV. Now are you telling me seriously? I book he gonna promote.
No, I don't believe that. I believe in all doctors because he run with the Cuban them. So him short fall. And first time when I was with my dad Jamaica, every news, when the Prime Minister and the Minister of Government leaving, it came on the news.
Yep. And what am I going to spend taxpayers' money? Them boy have to go, man. They don't respect the Jamaica people. None. They don't love them either. They don't love it. KP is shut down. Children's Hospital worse. Take your ass. Cornwall Regional Hospital, he gone to $26 billion and can't done after 9 years. Come on.
We're not hospital at Jamaica. That's working. None. A crisis. It's a crisis. You know, Dr. Dawes say, if you go to the hospital and maybe want to talk loud and say, yes, you come stay out of the light, boy. God the be on the side. There's nothing there, Carlos.
You know what the doctor said? A real doctor, this is. The man have said the hospital they can't save a life. I'm say the man have a kill off all the youth in Jamaica to see if he can get the travel advisory cut down. Eh? And look our healthcare when the US already ding with for our healthcare. The healthcare is worse. You think they might drop the travel advisory?
It's gone. It's gone worse, man.
Worse. Everything is worse. The crime worse. The healthcare worse.
The country worse. The only people who benefit of them pocket.
Jamaica, let me tell you something.
But that works in there. Keep the fire burning.
Later, yeah.
Just want to put a 2 cents in it.
Yes, brother. Respect. I'm gonna make me finish it. People, Let me tell you something.
Jamaica economy class, and he's coming back to Jamaica via economy class, but then all other legs are business class, amounting to over $3.3 million at a time when we still have mothers crying for their children to be able to get a seat.
Hold on, man. Is Dr. Das telling us Tufton take millions of dollars gone a foreign, gone over so? Hey, them boy are milk the country, them make sure say when they down in Jamaica, me don't know what Jamaica do anti only you know. Me don't know what poor people do that brother. Me don't know what Jamaica doing.
The person has asked, where is the minister at this time? Not sure where he is currently, but we do know that Jamaicans will be presented with a $3.3 million plane ticket bill for the trips. The April Fool joke is that he left Jamaica economy class and he's coming back to Jamaica via economy class, but then all other legs are business class, amounting to over $3.3 million at a time when we still have mothers crying for their children to be able to get a CT scan after a motor vehicle accident. Priorities, my fellow Jamaicans, priorities.
People, where healthcare crash, where education crash, even the water we are drinking crash. We got doo-doo in the water, people. You can't make this up. This administration is one cruel set of people, man. You can't trust them with that, man. And that's why I tell you, this crime number, you don't talk about crime gone down. No. We don't see why we don't believe it. Huh? We could continue to listen. Jesus.
And with that, I close off. And I wish you all the best because, as I had mentioned before, we are in a crisis and there's no guarantee that you can get adequate medical care at any hospital.
Whoa.
Because if they have to transfer you to KPH, it is a problem.
Dear
God go with you all.
Dear people of Jamaica now. Mark, pull up.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dawes and Councillor Jesse James Clark. Now, if you are in the room and you have a question for either of the speakers this morning, please indicate by raising your hand. When you get the mic, please say your name and the media house you represent. If you're online on Zoom, please use the raised hand icon to indicate that you have a question or place your question in the chat and we will present it to the speakers for you.
My God. Share the live. One in family. Watch them yang stop ride bike. Can't save a life. Huh? Stop ride bike. Kill them up.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sashana Small. I'm a reporter at the Glino. I have questions for both of you. Jesse, as it relates to the graph that you showed that exposed, that showed the contamination in our water, the 5% in the Kingston and St. Andrew area, is that figure representative of all of Kingston and St. Andrew, or is that specific to a particular plant, water treatment plant? You could, you're saying essentially that the water that we're drinking is unsafe. If you could, can you explain to us, what are some of the risks in drinking water with coliform?
Do the water. God help us.
All right. Thank you for your question. So just I don't know if you're able to project the chart. So the chart is being projected again. So what we're seeing, as you see the bars, the purple bar, that indicates for this at the source, that's where the water treatment is taking place. So after I've treated the water, they test the water to see if the treatment has worked. And the yellow bar is in distribution, that means at your pipes. So what we are saying is that in Kingston and St. Andrew, in some sections, especially your rural areas, so for example, persons who are served from the Griffin Water Treatment Plant, Susie Spring, Belbow, those areas, and there are other water treatment plants in rural areas that are affected, they will be getting this, they would have been getting this contaminated water. Now, the NWC, in their admission, after they admitted finally that they were having challenges, they have said that they have done flushing of the lines and so on to make the water safe for consumption for these residents. However, based on my visit to some of these sites, I know that more needs to be done in order for you not to have these results, to get these results back into the normal range. So that 5% coliforms you see running across the line going across, that's the standard. So anything above that is where you're having issues. And you can see for the rural areas, it's significantly above. And for your distribution for Kingston St. Andrew, meaning urban centers, it's right at the borderline. So you asked about the coliforms. So the coliforms, these are organisms that are present in the intestines of warm-blooded animals, and also they're found in soil. So they are used as an indication of the quality of your water. So if you're having high levels of coliforms, so these are bacteria or germs in the water, you're having high levels, it means that your treatment isn't working or your water supply is contaminated. So something is happening along the line that is causing these high numbers. And as you can see at source for some of your rural treatment plants, they are at 23 when the allowable limit is 5. So what you could have happening is persons being exposed. So when you have high levels of coliform, it don't only mean that it's only coliforms present in the water, because they are indicator organisms. It means that you could have viruses in the water too as well, parasites in the water too as well. And as you know, parasites can damage the organs, they can damage the intestines. Viruses can cause diarrhea, vomiting, illnesses like that. What you have happening, what has been saving us for the most part, especially persons in the rural areas, is that a lot of persons who can afford it, they buy water. That is part of the thing that has been happening, but is not, that doesn't guarantee your safety, because when you have contaminated water in one area, you do not know where that water will end up. Because why I'm saying that is that people catch that water and then transport it to other areas. They use it for cooking in other areas. And when you buy water from water trucks, some of them, they go to these rural areas that are not as heavily monitored to get the water from the line. And then they come and sell it to different areas, even some water shops too as well. Wow. So what you have happening, once you have them putting out water that is not safe, that don't meet their own standards, it means that you are putting the entire population at risk. And sometimes when people get sick, they don't believe that it's probably coming from the water. They probably attribute it to other source because they're expecting high quality water that should be coming from the pipe. But what we are saying is that if your own results are showing that it's not meeting the standards, you need to do something to not expose the public to this.
Mighty God.
I have a question as well for Dr. Dawes. Dr. Dawes, the report that you cited was done last year, and I've spoken to the administration at KPH, and they said that since that assessment was done, steps were taken to address the mole in those areas that you highlighted, the urology areas and so forth. Are you disputing this?
Anybody can say that they're taking steps, but what sort of steps? If they're definitive steps, then there shouldn't be any problem at all for the clinics to be moved back into the areas that they have taken steps to address.
True.
They can't. The clinics are held in another area, and they have partitions and less rooms than before because it is still not rectified. And this is the same thing I was speaking about before. The administrations of the institutions need to stop covering up for the policymakers at the Ministry of Health. If they continue to do so, then they're going to be thrown under the bus and we will never solve the problems. So to make a vague statement like steps were taken, it is not telling the truth. It is specious. It may seem like they were addressing it, but it is not being addressed. It has not adequately been addressed. And if we continue along this path, we're going to get Cornwall 2.0.
Thank you. We recognize Jason Cross online from the Jamaica Observer. Please unmute and go ahead with your question.
Hi, morning everyone. Hi, Nikisha. Dr. Dawes, over what period did those overseas trips happen? And based on the information that you have, where did the minister go?
Well, from now on, I've made a commitment not to share or say anything publicly without having my receipts. And I literally have my receipts right here, and we can make them the redacted itinerary available to the public that shows that the business class tickets, they are over $3.3 million with the only economy legs in and out of Jamaica. So that can be made available for your perusal. As to why he's there and why he is traveling, that can be ascertained from the Ministry of Health.
Do you have a follow-up, Jason?
No. Bam! Name out.
Another question for you, Dr. Dawes. Are you satisfied with the government's response with the Cuban doctors and their relationship with Jamaica?
Again, it was a nebulous response, and we are still left with no clear answer as to what is happening. So it has been the norm for several outgoing prime ministers in the Caribbean to speak definitively on where they stand with respect to the Cuban medical program. I think it's only fitting that our own outgoing prime minister speaks about it definitively.
Another question here says, any update on the billions of dollars unaccounted for at the Ministry of Health?
Well, they have a deadline. I believe it's either, I think it's May. I don't know where they are with respect to that. Again, the response was that it spans administrations, not accepting any fault or responsibility, to say that, you know, after 9 years, you could have caught up with what the other administration left and not add to that backlog. But it's the modus operandi that we have to deal with. We just hope that we can get some fulsome answers, because there are some serious questions that need to be asked about the spending of taxpayer dollars at the Ministry of Health. And I think nothing short of a fulsome audit of some projects would be warranted when we assume office.
There's a question for Councillor Jesse James. What's your message to residents of Kingston and St. Andrew? Should they be drinking water from their pipes today?
Right, so my message based on the response from until NWC comes out and share the results, and also tell us the infrastructure work that was done to improve the water treatment process in a lot of these facilities. They should definitely, I recommend they should always boil the water before you drink it. And I know a lot of persons use household filters. Those are also helpful to as well to get some of the contaminants out of the pipe. And you see the evidence too. When you're changing those filters, you see what is left back in them too as well. So, and wherever you are, not only in Kingston and St. Andrew, but on the island, and you're getting any indications of poor water quality, to report it. And we want all the municipalities across the island to pay attention to the reports that are coming in from both NWC and the Ministry of Health, and to question where these samples were taken and when they were taken.
Yeah, just one other thing that I didn't touch on. Cancer care. We are facing a cancer crisis. Much better. We are currently facing a cancer crisis. If you look at the Kingston Public Hospital that does a lot of the cancers, because they cannot get CAT scans and MRIs to properly stage the diseases and work up patients, even get proper investigations like colonoscopies to diagnose the cancers at an earlier stage. We're seeing far more advanced cancers being presented, and the outcomes are a lot worse. Since they stopped the outsourcing of diagnostic equipment, the government stopped paying for it. A lot of people who cannot afford these diagnostic equipment simply cannot get them. And so they have to wait for inordinately long periods of time to come up with the funds before they can get these scans, and that delays definitive treatment. It simply means that if you are poor and cannot afford to pay for private diagnostics right now, you are far worse than somebody who can call in a favor or find the money to pay for such diagnostics. It has reached even the point where simple hernias, we're not operating on simple hernias, we're operating on hernias when they get complicated and present as an emergency.
Oh God. Father God, help me people them. This administration must be investigated, people. Enough people dead out of them. Including my father. Including my own father, people. They must go to prison. No boy must get to run off into the sunset. No, man. Them boy are deliberately kill off Jamaica people. Where's the extra $80 billion? Where all the money with them? Yo, man, that thing hurt me, you know.
This is just showing you how bad things are, because these are the conditions that, if treated in a timely manner, would never get to the stage where there are an emergency. But we
people are dead. Jamaica dead off out there. Dead off for some simple things, people. Dead off. Man out there wait for operation and dead with it. Cause poor. Dead with it. Cause they make sure the hospital now, none of them here appointed to some outside facility. Jamaica people, to me, I vote for this party is a vote for your grave. You're going to end up on a funeral home. Hard road lead to funeral home under this administration and to them whole when I show you. You know how long me I tell you that? You know how long me I tell you say? Hard road lead to the funeral home, and it's alleged that Tufton himself have shares in the funeral homes. This is serious, you know. Tell me, say them boy must be investigated. Tell me when the next man take office, we must go back. Yo, good to see you, man.
We are facing a cancer crisis in Jamaica, and the numbers are telling us the true picture.
Good God. No, man. Can we get to your own people?
Thank you very much, Dr. Dawes and Councillor Jesse James. Jason Cross asked earlier, where is the Minister of Health at this time? And as Dr. Dawes outlined to you, we have a copy of his particulars. It's not our practice to make these public, but we believe in transparency and accountability. And we know the Minister of Public Relations, the Minister of Public Health and Wellness, Mr. Tufton, will come to the public with his own spin on this. What has been brought to our attention is that he's somewhere in Asia, somewhere in India, Dubai, Manila, Hong Kong, Delhi, New York, somewhere along that trip.
World tour.
Doing what? We don't know.
World tour.
Could it be that he's searching for replacements for the Cuban doctors who've served Jamaica well over the multiple years? Could it be that he's on a personal trip? We are not sure. We also do not know if it is a taxpayer that is paying for this $3.3 million trip, but we hope that when he gets back home safely, he will alert the country as to the nature of his trip.
My God.
What we've heard here today confirms what Jamaica already knows. Our healthcare system is stretched to a breaking point.
My God.
And the government is not moving apace with urgency or the focus that the moment requires. With operating rooms shut, wards compromised, and basic medical tools out of reach, can we honestly say that an expensive trip overseas right now should be the priority of the minister and the leadership at the Ministry of Health? These are questions of priorities, of leadership and responsibility to the Jamaican people. The People's National Party is demanding more than just acknowledgement. We're demanding action. Immediate remediation at the KPH, independent testing, and full transparency around hospital safety. We want strengthened systems to ensure our water supply meets acceptable standards. Is that too much to ask for? And clear accountability from the Ministry of Health on how funds are being spent. This is about the people. It's about ensuring that every Jamaican, regardless of status, has access to safe water, decent health care, and leaders who put Jamaicans first. This has been a press conference from the People's National Party, and we will continue to hold this government accountable, even if we have to drag them there. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
This is press conference. This is our press conference is. Not so little nonsense with the labor them a build up and spread so little propaganda and all them nonsense. This is a press conference. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate this exposure. So, you know, how must we know that they might cover up a guan? Eh? Dangerous cover up exposed by the PNP. Mold. Eh? Tufton, I come out, come tell you, everything good, man. Yeah, man, we have... Boy, Jesus, God. Boy, I never seen like this all my life.
Growth in the ceilings, and there are some pictures that show what is known as a petri dish, those round dishes that actually show the different colonies of the mold. And you can see that these are visual depictions of high levels of fungus in the areas that were swabbed. And the averages are way out of what would have been expected. Patients cannot be seen and treated in these areas. There are a lot of issues that come with mold inhalation, and the staff are at serious risk. And anyone who has worked at Cornwall Regional can tell you that working in a mold-infested environment does cause respiratory problems. You just feel sick all the time, and it may aggravate some chronic diseases. So we're putting patients and staff at risk while this cover-up is going on. Remember that...
So people, you say people are mold in their building up here, so people move out, you know. Black mold, dangerous people will kill you. Yeah, man. I never know how dangerous it was when I was in Jamaica. Yeah, man, we never worry about no more. We never know. Can nobody not tell we? You're going to a building where it look like this, you're all right, and you pull down stuff and you inhale all of them things in their lungs, people. Black mold. You know what Jamaican dead because of lack of knowledge? Eh? How much of the people must suffer and are dead out there because of no health care? People. For simply stuff, the Jamaican people are dead, you know? People not safe. If me and you go to Jamaica right now on vacation to backside and for whatever reason, we end up going to the hospital, what happened to me? Here, Dr. Dawson not trying to head up a hospital. Telling the family member to put on the yang until things better in the hospital. Me I want and I know. All I know me I want. Then I not to check on the head. Tell on the family member, put down the yang until things get better. And to me, a vote beside the bell is that bell that is going to ring when you 6 man bringing you back. How will I go? Think about it. This man wanted to give him 4 more years of this, people. The audacity, and you out there say, una labor right and something. Somehow, no, boy, I mean, no, what me say about uno? But God, like, you know, vote for dead man. Vote for it. Vote for dead man. Go on. Vote for it. You know, see what I go right before your eye. PR lie and PR stunt and cover up people. Not no real with these guys. Load in them pocket, line in them pocket, them and them friend. You hear about billions of dollars allocated to this, but you don't see it nowhere. That's why I say, you hear Dr. Dawes say, they need a proper audit, people. People forgot prison. Me serious. We can't depend on social media and highlight these stuff, and the end game is man just ride off into the sunset. No, man. We there, you know? Vloggers there. The end game cannot be after this hard work we do. Vloggers out there, independent journalists, and uno in the comment section. Don't tell me say all of this hard work. It's just gonna end up where man lose the election and man just gone in the sunset. And no question. May I ask you know, people in the comment section, should it be like that? Should the book end like that, people, when the book is written? Should the book end where man just next party come in and man just ride off in the sunset? Why are we here then in the comment section? Why are we out here angered every day? Hey, why are we out here every day spending so much hours on the internet talking to people and want to join me? Why are we doing this if the end of the game, at the end of the book, when the book end, it's gonna say, man just right after the sunset and gone. No, man, it cannot be like this. We are out here now. We need results. And anybody who hurt Jamaica, they need to pay. We need investigation. We need serious. That nobody else ever try this again. That future politician who want to come in there, they can say, boy, I mean, I do that, you know. Because some man tried that already and them learn them lesson. You know what I mean, people? Don't tell me, say, all of this hard work I put in, all of this hard ache, the pain, all of this, we see what people did, and all of this corruption. The book is just going to end where? Man get right after the sunset with his riches. Next party come to power. Man gone to Europe, man. Them man live over here, so man gone in the sunset. People, we need answers. We want to know what happened in at this time, why some of people dead under such man. Yeah? If I fear ministry, we want to know if you could do better to save lives. What did you do with the money? Why didn't you buy equipment in an hospital? Why you do with the money? Why some people have to die? You think we should know that? See, Colin Barnes say, Carlos, if a hospital is sick, where does the sick people go? That question there, we can't answer it. Because the answer I'm going to give too dire. Because I don't see nothing but the hole them. You see them at the grave. You think, say, the grave I'm showing you, you think it's a mistake why them a build pre-made grave at Jamaica when they're in a war? Is it a mistake why we are building them grave there, Jamaica people? Tell me the goddamn truth. Is it a mistake why the grave them I'm showing you? Enough of them. These guys know something we don't know. Is it a mistake why them invest in so many morgues in Jamaica, funeral homes? Is it a mistake, people, why funeral homes are pop up all over the country? Why is it a mistake why the government giving license, giving permission for people to go in more and more into funeral homes, people? Is it a mistake? May I ask again for the grave? Is it a mistake, gentle people? When we see all of them grave they are dig, people, pre-made for the people them. Think about it. What are their plans for us, gentle people? Look upon it, good Jamaicans. Look, we're in the world under there. We never see nobody build grave and put on it, man. No, man, we never see in a wartime, man. You talk about hundreds, man. Hundreds of grave, man. Put on a weight per human being. Good God Almighty. Hundreds of grave putting down, waiting, and you is like a drunkard just sit down somewhere and wait for you drop out. And in a Jamaica, it's like they don't wait till you drop out. They push you over the edge. It's sickening that the hospital are sick. Jamaica people, this no good. This do not subscribe to. See there? This are not politics, people. This is about yourself. I want to do. And this is not for the grandparents enough for not to vote. What I vote for? What I do? You don't want to change? You not get do the water. And man, I come tell you they say water good and rare. And I beat the PNP brother. We come one and about the do the water. Jamaica, how can you trust something like this? All road lead to the morgue. And them hole where them are prepared for you. Them hole they prepare for you already. Why in a country like Jamaica, them already have so many graves dug for people? No, with a healthcare system like that, tell me if they must have people a benefit off a dead out there like that. Look on them all there. Eh? With a healthcare system like this, the government must give more people permit for work mag. You ever see hole dig like this anywhere in the world? Someone want to travel to more countries and more places than I do. Who never go to no country and see them already dig hole like this? Are we at war? So with a healthcare system, what them just talk about, you know, all road lead to right or so. Good God, people. God Almighty. Everything in a Jamaica dead. It's like somebody open up the sky and rain down guns in the youth them laps. If gun not kill you when you're injured by the gun, you go to hospital. You're gone. The food we eat, them open the doors and bring in junk food, come here. The politicians themselves make sure so them feed the people with the junk food, them have an importation license, them and them friends. The Chinese with the fake food, where we are eat people. Most dead, man. He said, our road lead to the dead house. Everything does look, does a dead, at a way that I send you. In a them hole, them will show you. Everything it does look like, you want to look at air when you go to hospital, you're sick. You might want to look at air for breathe. No respirator. Simple stuff like that you can dead from stifle. Look, simple stuff, people. You know when people go to hospital and they put a respirator upon them and they come out good and gone. Eh? Respirator, just look at air. Oxygen. Their lungs. Save your life. You're dead because of no respirator. Nothing to test your brain. Cancer patient out there. I wait for the day if you go dead now. Look for the good people. Them boy are scavenger. Vulture them. They make sure say the hospital now have nothing it's an accident. When them same boy are promising them to build this and build that, they must spend money also. You ever hear them boy talk serious about the healthcare system? Remember the US came down on us, you know, travel advisory because of bad healthcare. So you don't believe because the US slapped with the travel advisory and healthcare that came up. You don't believe say them boy that get serious. I start fix up some of the hospital and put some money in it. If I have a couple of them, no, brother. Everything get worse. The man in the same level. The man them apply an extra $80 billion in 2023. Put it up to 140 because the PNP was using $6 billion to run healthcare annually. The Labour said, no, this too small. We add an extra $80 billion. Look now, PNP are running it, you know, with $60 billion. Then I said, we can add $1 or $2 billion on it, you know. They're going to put $80 billion, more than double. You know, see what I want. The PNP was running the healthcare and it was better. It wasn't good, you know. It wasn't good, but it was better, don't it? Come and speak the truth, man. It was better. And now the Labour right them add an extra $80 billion to it. And a $2 billion added to it, you know. A $60 billion the PNP them run. They don't say they put another $60 billion on top of it. They put 80 and we don't see where it go. And the next year, hospital are shut down. Mole. Doctors come down, can't do operation for youths. The doctor me play a while ago. I bust a man to Children's Hospital. It's last year, but the year before, an extra $80 billion was applied. If you don't spend an extra $80 billion in the Children's Hospital first, what the $80 billion there? It did not spend at Cornwall Regional Hospital. I know that for a fact. Because Tufton did come out and say want an extra $5 billion for Cornwall. On top of the $80 billion there, you know. The man said, we can take out the $5 billion out of it and finish Cornwall Hospital. He get an extra $80 billion and we can't spend. That's why Dr. Dan said we need some digging up. Right? We can't spend the extra $80 billion spent, but he might come back to us for extra $5 billion for Cornwall Regional Hospital. So you go from $2 billion to $21 billion, and now you want $5 more billion to finish Cornwall Hospital, and that not gonna finish. La 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 la. Man, we got prison the people. So him get that $80 billion when we don't see spend now. He could take that $5 billion out of it. And put on Cornwall if you want. No. It look like the $80 billion melt away. And after the $80 billion melt away, gentle people, he might come back now for $5 more billion attack people. Not no million, billion. The $80 billion melt away. He might come back for $5 more billion now differently, separately for Cornwall Regional Hospital to add to a total and get a total and to add to $21 billion. So it'll go up to $26 billion and the hospital can't done. Man, in a government, no, nothing can't. Yo, people, them take it for idiot. Give the people them do the water. And Jamaica people are run round when the brother come out, come talk, the labor, them I beat him. I beat the man. You know, so them water, they should not even good for go for your body. You can't bathe with them water with fecal matter in it. Come on, man. How you gonna bathe with water like that? Me see in the comment section, somebody say, most of the people them can't afford bottled water, family. And the government now go around and give people water. The government needs to go around and give people drinking water until they sort this thing out. Look at the good people. People are forced to drink the do-do water. Me see that comment section. Because people can't afford bottled water. People boil out the hell out of the water. Me I tell you no. Boil out the hell out of this water. Yeah. Keeping yourself safe. Thank you for watching this video. Them things hurt my heart, gentle people. Real. Boy, like the man them, boy, 300% raise, eh? These boys get 300% raise and the people drinking do the water. These are some wicked set of Negroes. Wicked set of black people we have. Remember me say black leaders are the worst, you know. From the Caribbean to Africa. Me always tell you guys that. Black leaders are the what? Worse. I'm a black man, I'm telling you the truth. That black leaders are the worst. Them treat them people the worst. You no matter what them have in the country, while them are steal, look how them treat them people. Me could have say for that thief, man have 28 bank account and the people them drink shit water. Man have 28 bank account and the people them drink shit water. Man give themselves 250 to 300% raise. The people that drink filth water, mold in the hospital. Look on the priorities, the man. That made me look on Burkina Faso, you know, Ibrahim Traore, you know. A man like that with that heart would never do that to him people, you know. And when they look on Jamaica, they see the teeth, you know. When they look on Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, no look back on Jamaican politician if you don't see them with their hand in the pocket, in the cookie jar. Look good. Look on Burkina Faso, if you know what going on over there. Now reflect back to Jamaican politician. Don't you see them with their hand in the cookie jar out there? Look good. You don't see them? Anyway, people, thank you for watching this video. Them boy are wicked. Wicked. Jamaica people are dead for simple stuff. Dead. No, sir. And the man make sure them have the grave, you know. You want to tell me which funeral home get this order for build so much grave? Which cemetery? Who control the cemetery complex? Who get the order for build so much grave? That is to tell you how much Jamaica people are dead out there. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks to everybody who come here. Share the live to your family member. Share everything somebody for your people. May I go through it. Hurt my heart. Hurt my heart. Later, people. God know. We have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead, them can't kill me said no. We have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead. Whoa. I'm from the beautiful land of Jamaica, land of sunshine and the best reggae maker. From me was a little boy from dollar a paper. Here corruption of poor people, paper them creating killer.
thief and raper, youth graduate from college done hotel waiter, politician them attack but thing we get better later. Only man never fit at the undertaker. The truth, but I want to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now, whoa, things out of hand in a all kind of manner. Motor vehicle examiner are the biggest scammer. Them scam me nephew, me niece and me mama. Wonder when the government a go put down the hammer. Police respect your uniform, the oath on the way honor. No in a rum bar and a drink till the stomach. Embarrassment to the force with no vulgar grammar. Jump in a your car almost kill nana. Office speak the truth, I don't want to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth, no want to kill me dead. No one when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now, well, this a topic when me want to get wild and why so much pretty fall they pan me island. A Jamaica me at a bone, no one no Thailand. Big man dead, they want to take a little picking in island. Pity for the stop, government figure off at them. Look on the size and left me look at that of them. Bring them in a jailhouse, make the judge slaughter them in a prison. When they feel they rat again, I'll be speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now me have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now, politician, for your time now, open your ears all. The citizen in charge of the seat that you hold when election done. You remember a soul, not even go fix two patrol. Can't meet with basic needs, then what is your role? The youth they want better road and light pan pole. Youth they want job and money in a bill full. Politician me say make no so cold. So we have to speak the truth, them have to kill we dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth, them have to kill me. Jamaicans call us there, here. Okay.
The PNP only argue about how the pie share up, how the cake cut up. But they don't know how to make the pie grow bigger. They don't come to you on the platform and tell you how they are going to create an economy for Portland for which you can benefit and your life can change. They don't give you a vision for the future that shows you how you are going to be better off. They don't come to you and tell you how they're going to use the natural assets that you have to create wealth for you. They don't tell you that. All they come and do is talk about me and tell lie for me and tell all kind of lies.
And something to think about. Jamaican callers are running road. Show up, don't work, but relax your pants and shirt. So me tell them again, some wanna know themselves, they know themselves, they know themselves. Some wanna know themselves, they know themselves. Never forget where you are come from. Some y'all don't know themselves, they know themselves, they know themselves. Some y'all don't know themselves, they know themselves. Now me know some gal, don't know themselves. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themselves. Go like them bridges too big for them belt. Now me know some gal, don't know themselves. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themselves. No show off at the college and we no brag about well, some man a go like they never go a bush and use bush fit show and wet up their pants foot. Some man a go like wood we never look the motor like the way carry the load make we puke. Remember when me a Bobby all a talk about cook tin, mackerel we a talk about enough fish off a hook. My brethren must just say call me a chicken, put back it up in some flour and we never talk boobs. Remember the one choose the one with the king where the bottom wear down and the heel kinda sing. Sometimes me wonder what people think when a boot a wet. Me say what a boot sting. Some man a go like them a foreign link like them born in a foreign go a school in a ming. You can't forget where you used to fight chink anyway the chink bite you scratch it to the ping. Some wanna know themselves, they know themselves, they know themselves. Some wanna know themselves, they know themselves. Never forget where you are come from. Some y'all don't know themselves, they know themselves, they know themselves. Some y'all don't know themselves, they know themselves. Now me know some gal, don't know themselves. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themselves. Go like them bridges too big for them belt. Now me know some gal, don't know themselves. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themselves. No show off at the college and we no brag about well. When me I go to school, ballet me used to wear. Trying to make water wet up the one pier. Down up a basket, don't a Sinclair. Can't buy class and cougar too dear. One shirt me have, make sure it don't tear. One khaki pants, make sure it never smear. No mama have a piece of ass up a peer. Mal chop me I go up because me name have a fear. Well, Well, you know much water. We used to big all the 5-gallon bucket balance pan we hit. Twist and return, almost dead. Boy, all we had to try no bust mama cake. Remember junking early, long time him dead. Jacking Cadaros with the nothing make. Remember when me used to buy quarter bread and yam rice on the calabash on the poker tray. Someone don't know themself, don't know themself, don't know themself. Someone don't know themself, don't know themself. Never forget where you are come from. Some y'all don't know themself, don't know themself, don't know themself. Some y'all don't know themself, don't know themself. Now me know some gal, don't know themself. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themself. Go like them riches too big for them belt. Now me know some gal, don't know themself. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themself. No show off at the college we no brag about well. Sure, nothing me go through. When me I grew up because mama and I work. Things kinda tough. Daddy plan can and gungo and I pray for bust. The flower done at this morning, mama use the last dust. Turn Camille me eat before dust and me get up in the morning say the rest me I go brush. Me love turn Camille, you know the fat cross. Looking at the pot now and Roach get the fuss. Roach in the Camille, so me say alright. Gone up a bush because mango just right. First mango me get hold it, give it a little bite. Hold it up and you squeeze it up nice. Suck it like a titty and squeeze it up. Me never feel right. Me gas kinda wet, me take off like kite. Diarrhea, me belly run like a standpipe. Someone don't know themself, don't know themself, don't know themself. Someone don't know themself, don't know themself. Never forget where you are come from. Some y'all don't know themself, don't know themself, don't know themself. Some y'all don't know themself, don't know themself. Now me know some gal, don't know themself. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themself. Go like them riches too big for them belt. Now me know some gal, don't know themself. Go like them better than everybody else. Now me know some boy, don't know themself. No show off at the college we no brag about well.